Prabhu here in Bangalore, India at the Art of Living International Center, and we're very happy and excited to welcome the millions of you who have joined us from across all time zones to the first ever global online meet of concerned citizens with a vision for a violence-free, stress-free world. To all the Indians who've joined in, we would like to wish you a happy Republic Day.
This first of its kind incredible Google Plus Hangout with Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji is really bringing the entire world community together. Thought leaders from diverse fields across artists, sports, students, youth, rural youth, mothers, and indeed all of us from around the world have got together to discuss, to reflect, and to really plan on what we can do together to bring about and catalyze a positive social transformation.
We have received thousands of questions, thoughts, and ideas from around the world, and our global organizing team has worked day and night to ensure that as many of these are being represented on this Hangout. So just hang in there.
And to begin this Hangout, we would like to invite you now to join in for a short video, which is a befitting representation of the humanitarian work envisioned and inspired by Shri Shri.
People cannot stand tension or stress for too long. Somewhere one has to give up. You can't hold your fist too long like that. Somewhere you have to relax. And when you relax, you see the whole sky is on your back. That tendency is began in the world.
And now, Gurudev, on behalf of the whole world and the millions who are online, it is our greatest honor to welcome you to this Google Plus Hangout.
To inaugurate this extraordinary event, we would like to invite our dear Bhanu Didi, Shri Shri's sister, joining us from Washington, D.C. to guide us through the invocation.
Jai Gurudev. It is a great honor for me to join this global conversation with Shri Shri Gurudev on Google. I'm very happy to connect with all of you from around the world. Let us begin with a chant praising Lord Ganesha, the remover of obstacles. This will be followed by a chant praising Ardhanarishwara, who represents Shiva and Shakti, the dynamism and peace within each one of us. We will follow this with a chant praising the Guru principle in our lives, who is the giver of peace and joy. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samapprabha प्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। चाम्पेय गौरार्धशरीरिकायै कर्पूर गौरार्ध शरीरिकाय दम्यल्लकाय च जटाधराय नमः शिवाय च नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय च नमः शिवाय। प्रदीप्तरत्नोज्ज्वलकुण्डलाय शिवस्फुरन्महापन्नगभूषणाय शिवान्विताय च शिवान्विताय नमः शिवाय च नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय च नमः शिवाय। गुरोरादिरनादिश्च गुरोर्परमदैवतम् गुरोर्परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। जय गुरुदेव।
Thank you so much, Bhanu Didi. Shri Shri, we are so fortunate to have this time with you today, and we are really looking forward to your advice and guidance on how we can come together as a world community to really make a difference to humanity. So on behalf of the whole world, Shri Shri, we would like to request you to grace us with your words of wisdom.
You know, when Wright brothers thought about flying, everybody thought they're crazy. I have this crazy idea of, it may appear to be very crazy, to see a world without violence, without stress. But I'm so happy that so many of you have joined me in this dream. You know, first we need to dream, and then one day, either in this generation or coming generation, I'm sure we will be able to see a world without violence, without stress. Today it may appear to be a far-fetched reality because we see there is so many conflicts everywhere. There are domestic conflicts, there are societal conflicts, conflict between the communities, between the nation. And now if we talk peace or a world without violence or stress-free life, may appear to be just an utopia, an imagination. But I tell you, we must dream. And it's a good time that we all started dreaming, and we will definitely meet the success.
Shri Shri, a world of dreamers is online waiting to interact with you and really expand their dream even further with your guidance and blessings. And we already have online the first question, Shri Shri, which comes from Bastar, a very remote village in India, from a question from the rural youth. Bastar, आप अपना प्रश्न पूछिए.
जय गुरुदेव।
आप सब रिपब्लिक डे की मुबारक।
आपको भी बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। गुरुजी, हम बस्तर के लगभग 25-30 वॉलंटियर्स, टीचर्स यहाँ पे आपके सामने उपस्थित है। हमारा सौभाग्य है। हम आपसे एक सवाल पूछ रहे थे गुरुजी।
हाँ।
कभी प्राकृतिक सौंदर्य, सरलता एवं शांति के लिए प्रसिद्ध रहा बस्तर आज हिंसा, क्रूरता एवं नशे की गिरफ्त में आ गया है। गुरुजी, इससे कैसे और कब छुटकारा मिलेगा? जय गुरुदेव।
देखो, पहले तो बात है कि हम इससे छुटकारा चाहते हैं, और आप जैसे हजारों युवा इससे छुटकारा चाहते हैं, तो ये कदम हमने आगे बढ़ा दिया सही दिशा में, और इस पर काम करें, हो जाएगा. You know, the question was from Bastar, how can we get rid of this problem that we have in this region of violence, of drugs and alcohol? I said, once we start taking the right step in the right direction, and this intention, many youth's mind, that we need peace, we need to get out of this menace of drug and alcohol, we will be able to do. We are in the right direction there.
Thank you, Shri Shri. Our second question is waiting from Taiwan. A group of audience is online with us from Taiwan. Taiwan, please go ahead and ask your question.
Nihoma. Wailoma. Yes, Rita, go ahead.
Guruji,
It must be very late for you there now.
it's already past 11 o'clock.
Okay, ask the question.
Guruji, lately in Taiwan, there are many youngsters, teenagers, college students who committed suicide because of academic pressures and other stress. How should we do to avoid things from happening again?
You know, this is where we need to teach our students, our youngsters, how to manage the mind. You know, stress is caused because of too much to do, too little time and no energy. This is the definition of stress, you know. Now, either we need to encourage them to gain more energy through breathing exercise, proper food, and physical exercise, and a relaxed mind. This is one thing to do, or reduce the workload on their head. The whole attitude towards life need to be looked at it again. And both parents and peers should not exert pressure on their kids or on their peers. This is an awareness that we need to create. I'm sure that this similar problem exists in many countries. It's an issue that we need to address. You know, one thing I found when children do yoga and some meditation and they have some creative, cooperative games, not the competitive ones, then their energy level goes up. It's a low energy level, low self-esteem causes a child to commit suicide.
Thank you, Shri Shri. From Taiwan, we now move to the US, where a mother is online from Connecticut to ask the next question. Please go ahead, ma'am. Ma'am, could you unmute your audio? Could you unmute your audio and ask the question? It's on the top right of your screen.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Now I can hear you.
My dearest Shri Shri, in lieu of the recent violent tragedy in Connecticut, more than ever, young children and their families are in need of physical, mental, and psychological healing. Specifically, how can Connecticut's community begin to heal? Where should our primary focus be placed in establishing long-lasting positive change for children and their families in Connecticut?
Yeah. My prayers are with the people who have suffered, this unforgettable trauma. I mean, this is something that should wake up the world to take stringent laws about the gun culture. You know, I'm so pained. Yeah, but we need to move on. We need to educate our people to have that courage to move on. You know, what really helps is doing some breathing exercises and a little bit of meditation. They help people to drop the past and move to the future with more confidence. I'm sure some trauma relief work along with this can help people to cope up with the terrible time that they have had in the past. Yeah, I think the whole world joining me to wish well for the people and move on, to a happy future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We would now like to share the format of the Hangout with all our worldwide viewers. There will be a panel of 8 members interacting with Shri Shri. There will be many such panels. As you can see at the bottom of your screens now, the first panel is already online with us. It is now our great privilege to introduce these 8 world-class citizens whose interactions with Shri Shri will set the opening platform towards making our world violence-free, stress-free. Introducing in the order of their interaction, Dr. Deepak Chopra, civil society representatives from Australia, Mr. Arnab Goswami, Bathaina Kamel, Dr. Sanjay Pradhan, Kumara Sangakara, Elizabeth Fate, and Mia Gunderson. We will now first start with a recorded message from Dr. Deepak Chopra. Can we have the message, please?
I'm Dr. Deepak Chopra, and I'm just so delighted to be on this hangout with His Holiness Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji. Perhaps some of you don't know that he and I are Guru Bhais, and we go back a long, long time. I think the topic of the hangout is what can we do to create a stress-free and violence-free society. And it's very obvious that you cannot get rid of war by war. You cannot solve the problem of violence through violence. And yet, countries go to war, quote unquote, to create peace. Peace begins with you. Peace begins with your innermost being, which is already a place of peace, joy, equanimity, love, compassion, kindness. So if you're not peaceful, we can't create peace in the world. If you don't know how to love, then we can't create love in the world. And Shri Shri Ji has been doing amazing work throughout the world, bringing peace to people so they can create peace in the world. We are all familiar with the phrase, can you be the change you want to see in the world? So the change begins from within. And that's why the techniques that Shri Shri Ji teaches, like Kriya Yoga, meditation, that's the first place. If you start to do that, you go beyond your internal dialogue, this very noisy part of the mind, which is constantly evaluating, judging, labeling, anticipating, worrying, remembering, feeling all kinds of negativity in the form of anger, hostility, guilt, shame, resentment, jealousy. If you go past that, because you can't manipulate that, but if you go past that, you go past the secret passages, the dark-filled alleys, and the ghost-filled attics of your mind, which is a product of karma. It's the product of karma, vasanas, samskara. You go past that. That's what Kriya Yoga does. That's what meditation does. And we find that place, which we call Satchitananda, which is the pure being, pure consciousness. And then from there you evoke the divine feelings of love, joy, compassion, equanimity, and then you act. So being is first, feeling is second, reflecting is third, and doing is last. We're human beings, we're not human doings. This is the great message of the great spiritual tradition of India, and this is the message that Shri Shri Ji is carrying throughout the world. And I just want to say how much I appreciate that, how much I value that, and I really honor Shri Shri Ji for making this phrase, Vasudev Kutumbakam, the world is my family, making it practical. Because love without action is meaningless, and action without love is irrelevant. When we combine the two and come from a place of being, we're human beings, we're not human beings, then we transform ourselves and we transform the world. In our personal transformation is the transformation of the world. There's no social transformation without personal transformation. So with that, I want to salute Shrishiji once again for the great contribution he's making to reach critical mass, and hopefully this will lead to a more peaceful, just, sustainable, healthy, and happier world. What more can we want?
Thank you so
And
much.
Dr. Deepak Chopra.
That's so rightly said, no? Peace begins with oneself. No? If we are not peaceful, we cannot spread peace around. So we have to be peaceful. We have to find that inner peace, and that's most important. It's so well said. Spread peace around.
We now go to civil society representatives from Australia. Can you ask your question?
Jai Gurudev Guruji.
Yes.
Guruji, according to a local Australian report, young adults in Australia have significant higher levels of stress, depression and anxiety than the general population. Now, even though we have been teaching Art of Living courses and we are helping a number of young adults, but how should we reach the masses and make a big difference there?
I leave you with that thought. You may get many ideas, and whatever clicks you apply that. Our goal is the same. We have to reach out to young people and make them feel happy and free from stress. And once the goal is there, then you proceed, see whatever works. That is what is essential, right? Creating awareness, getting them to do some social work together. All this would help. And sitting together and meditating and helping people who are, with less advantageous people, disadvantaged people. We have to inspire people to do some teamwork, some seva activity, service activity, right?
Yes. Thanks, Guruji.
We'll now take a recorded question from Arnab Goswami, the editor-in-chief of Times Now, one of India's leading news channels.
Thank you very much for allowing me to take part in this very important interaction. I have a question, a very personal question for Sri Ravi Shankar, for whom I have the highest respect. Sri, my question to you is that there is so much injustice going around in our society. There is so much wrong which happens. For example, if we talk about the crimes against women, my question to you is in the context of the media, Sri. When the media talks about the injustice which happens, and when the media reflects the anger that is there in society at this injustice, it is often accused of provoking negative sentiments. Do you agree with this point of view? And secondly, following up from that, the media and the people want a more proactive approach in changing things. You have strongly advocated spirituality. How much can one depend on faith? In other words, how much faith can one have on faith alone to solve the problems of our society? Thank you very much for allowing me to take part. I'd like to know your views, Sri.
Yes. Wonderful, Arnab. You're doing a great service for bringing diverse people on a platform, and every day people do enjoy interacting with you. And watching you interacting with many people. I would say life has to be taken in a holistic approach. It's not one thing that could cure the ills of the society. In the spirituality also has its component. It's important component as well. But not only spirituality, but it needs to be combined with social work, creating awareness in people, and proactive attitude towards justice and peace. All these needs, and the media's exposure of the injustice that's happening, wrong things that's happening in society is equally important. But you know, sometimes if we overdo anything, that can cause nausea to people. Suppose a particular problem is there, and if we just go on for months together on that, then people get a little put off by that. If you feel it's little too much, it's too nauseating. So there is a limit, and that limit you have to find yourself. Nobody else can find the limit for you. You have to find that there is a balance that we need to maintain. There is a limit to our exposing the negative tendency that's in the society, and also at the same time giving the positive solutions as well. You know, it's easy to be part of a problem, but to be part of a solution, it needs some effort, and that effort needs to be put together. Yeah, and if every individual takes responsibility to turn the negative sentiments or events into a more positive happening in society, we'll be able to build a better society around us.
We now go to Bothaina Camel, the first ever woman presidential candidate from Egypt, live.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm very happy, Guruji, to be with you, and I hope we can start with a hope prayer for Egypt that's going through a lot of violence today. I know you love Egypt very much.
Correct, you're right. Egypt is part of our society, our world, and part of our family, and we're all concerned about the violence, the struggle that's going on in Egypt. There is one good thing that people are waking up. There is another thing it could have happened without violence, in a peaceful revolution. For this, we need to educate both the politicians and the common masses. You know, changes cannot happen overnight. We need to pursue it with patience and with determination. And the world community, you know, all of us, I'm sure, have sympathy towards people there who have suffered a lot, and we are with them, and we would like to see whatever we can do to bring peace there. Mediating people together, bringing inner peace to people there, they are committed for it.
We hope. Thank you. You know, Guruji, the revolution has been hijacked. We had such high hopes when we took to the street 2 years ago, but now we feel frustrated. But there is much more we must do to seize our country back from the grip of dictatorship and repressive rule that will pull Egypt back to the dark ages. But my question is about women. Women in Egypt were part of the revolution, yet they still are denied the chance to plan for its future. How shall women perceive this fact in order to be able to change it? What would you tell them as for to be stronger and more effective? Thank you.
I right away see one woman who is very strong and who is standing up for the cause, and I congratulate her in you. I would love that more women participate. And of course, if you go from every city to city and you have a lot to do, you know, and wake women up to join you, once women wakes up, nothing can stop. Nobody can stop the revolution from happening. So women have great power. We simply need to kindle it a little bit more there. And I wish good luck to you on this mission. And we all wish you that you take reins in Egypt and see that women gets equal respect and their due position in Egypt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let us now go live to Dr. Sanjay Pradhan, Vice President of World Bank Institute, Board Member of World Forum for Ethics in Business.
Jai Gurudev, warm hello to everyone. I wanted to just bring up the issue that in order to realize our dream of a stress-free, violence-free world, we will need to put special attention on a set of around 50 countries which have a particularly large concentration of violence and poverty. These are known as fragile and conflict-affected states like Afghanistan, Somalia, South Sudan, and the DRC. These countries seem so difficult that there is a tendency to say that we will not focus on this, we will look at other places. But about 1.5 billion people reside in these countries which are affected by violent conflict. And these countries have repeated cycles of violence. In the last decade alone, 90% of the civil wars in the world came about in these countries which had a civil war before. And because these countries have so much violence and conflict, all aspects of economic development suffer, and the poor suffer the most. So it happens that in these countries, 1/3 of the world's population that survives on less than $1.25 a day is found in these sets of countries. And about half of the world population of children which die before they reach the age of 5 are found in this set of countries. So these countries represent a major problem, and they are also hotbeds of terrorism and disease. So the real question is, for Guruji, what can we do to tackle the problems of these countries? The international community has not been very successful. The international development community has been providing basic services and building basic institutions, but that doesn't seem to be sufficient to build trust and cohesion in these societies that are ethnically so torn. And perhaps this global initiative, Guruji, that you have started, can start to build peace, trust, and cohesion at the level of the individual, at the level of the community, at the level of the nation state in these countries that can rebuild these ties. So the question is, what can be done in these sets of countries which are such a concentration?
Yeah, Sanjay, I got a question. Sanjay, you know, when people are sick, what do we do? World Health Organization sends medicines and doctors there. When people are starving, what do? We send them food. Similarly, when mind is sick, when people are agitated, angry, upset, we have not devised anything that would help them to come out of it. Rather, we don't use those things which are available. If we can train volunteers who can go and help people who are so stressed, who are mentally not stable, and who are aggressive, and give them that orientation. See, neither at school nor at home, anyone teaches you how to handle your emotions. So when negative emotions start boiling from within you, it simply gets expressed as war and conflict outside. We need to educate our people how to handle one's own mind. That mental and spiritual education is so essential, so much needed today in society, right from school to the administrative setup, even to the ministerial and parliament levels. You know, I think if we can train people from all these countries to help people manage their mind, as Dr. Deepak Chopra rightly said, you know, the peace begins from within. So that peace, if we can provide to these people who are decision makers, or policy makers, or politicians, and the general public, then we can reduce this conflict to a great extent. I have a small experience of this in Ivory Coast, for which the Ivory Coast government has recognized the art of living and has awarded, given them the award also. This Ivory Coast, what we did is one of our volunteers went to these 2 different villages, ethnically different, religiously different, diverse, and went and taught them and brought them together. They were able to recognize the humanness in each other. So instead of getting into conflict, they started cooperating with each other, getting out of their old habit of insecurity and mistrust, coming to a new plane of cooperation and consideration of each other's values. This is what is needed. I think we can do it through education and creating an awareness. Peace is the most desired thing of every individual.
Very nice, Guruji. I just wanted to say that this dimension has been missing in international efforts. And the more we can do this could really make a difference. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We now go to a recorded question from Kumara Sangakkara, the former captain of the Sri Lankan cricket team and an outstanding sports person.
Guruji, sports and games are supposed to be stress busters, but sports and games have evolved so much and have become so big now and so competitive that they themselves have become stressful. What are your thoughts on the not handling stress?
In sports, we forget one thing, that we are looking for the end result. Sports is something in which the entire time need to be enjoyed. From the beginning to the end. The end, whether you win or lose, is not so important. How you play the game is so important. People enjoy the game, how interesting it is. When you put your 100%, there are only one option that is left with you. Either you win or you make others win. There is no losing at all. So you have to see sports in this direction. Either I win, I make others win. And making others win should be also considered a great thing. If you put your 100% and yet you make others win, you should compliment yourself. Today, war has become a game and game has become a war. This is not nice at all. We have to reverse this. Game should bring joy from the very moment of its beginning till the last moment of its till its last moment. In the same way, the attitude of both people who see the game and who play the game need to be free from stress. For sportsmen, I would recommend you should do a little bit of meditation and some breathing, every day. That would help you to keep your enthusiasm, your energy, and a smile on your face. People love to see your smile. You are smiling. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rishi. We'll now go to a recorded question from Elizabeth Fate, a writer and international speaker from Canada.
I remember so vividly when I was a little girl singing spiritual songs, and the words to one of the songs went like this: "Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me." And I would get so choked up because even as a little girl, I knew that this is where it had to start. That if I wanted peace outside of myself, if I wanted peace in my home or at my school or with my friends, that this is where it had to be. And so the tears would always flow when that song came on and when I would sing that song. And I really believe that this is what the world needs today. If we want a peaceful world, we need to learn how to love ourselves, to be at peace with ourselves. So Guruji, I would love you to share with the world, how can we cultivate that self-love? Because it's that self-love that we need in order to create that peace within. And when we can learn how to love ourselves, then we can learn how to love others. So please share with us your wisdom on that.
Correct. I would say you are love. You simply have to know how you can get rid of your negative emotions, your guilt, your fear, your anxiety. These things you can do by attending to the breath. Because see, mind and emotions are so abstract. And body is the concrete, what we think it is concrete. It's really not concrete if you ask physicists. But so there is something in between these two, that is the breath, which is a little bit concrete and still abstract. And the breath has the connection or the secret of transforming the negative emotions into positive ones. You know, with every emotion, there is a particular rhythm in the breath. So when you, through breath, can handle the negative emotions, what happens is you simply realize as an experience that you are a fountain of love. So the self-doubt disappears, self-blame disappears, a sense of peace and wellness dawns from within you. And when you feel wellness, a sense of peace within you, and what you radiate and what you bring to world around you is the same, you know. You'll make others happy, make others peaceful. It all begins where you are, actually. So all that you need to do is attention on your breath a little bit, understanding the signs of breath and meditating a little bit. Not more than 10-20 minutes a day. That is good enough. And even knowing how breath can help one to overcome the negative feelings is good enough. It's like learning to ride a bicycle. Once you know it, anytime you can do it. You don't have to do it every day even. Yeah.
From Canada, we go now live to Norway, where Miss Mia Gunderson, famous talented actor and singer, is asking her question. Can you please ask your question?
Yes, Mia. Good evening. It's evening for you, right?
Can you unmute, please, to your top right? You need to unmute, Miss Mia.
No, I can't hear you.
Miss Mia, top right, you need to go and unmute the audio. We can't hear you.
Now I think everything's fine. It's very, very nice to be with you all. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Please
Now
go
we can
ahead.
hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh. Hello. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I come from a country that has everything. Oi, I can hear myself here. Just a moment. We're going to find this out. Yeah, and now everything's fine. I come from a country with a very strong educational system, and we are also a country that has absolutely everything. And we like to call ourselves a peace-loving people, which we are. But I see some lack in our educational system, because the children never learn from the inside who they are. They are very good to teach them all the knowledge they need to become good citizens and to create good jobs. But the inner side of us, the spirituality, we have a big lack, and we have also a lot of anxiety in our society, because I think that we don't talk so much about the strength of love. And I'm just wondering, how can we influence our government to understand that this is so important for us to learn that it comes from the inside and not only from the outside?
Yeah. As you correctly said, you have already recognized what you need and what is lacking there. Now, all it takes for you to make many more people understand your viewpoint and find out from them they also have the same viewpoint as yours. You know, and if large number of people feel that they really lack something, education of love, of knowing who one is, you know, that inner spiritual a strength, being in touch with that, then now you can propose to your government, talk to your education ministers, and there are a number of techniques available in the world. There are a number of ways, not just one, many ways are available to bring that in much needed inner strength. I think today we need to globalize wisdom. We take music from every part of the world. We take food from every part of the world. Today you go anywhere in the world, you can get Chinese food, you can get Mexican food, you can get, Danish cookies, and Indian gulab jamuns. So you get food is almost globalized today. You go to China, you can get Indian food. You go to India, you can get, Italian food. So when we can globalize food, we can globalize music and many things. Why not we globalize wisdom? If every child knows a little bit about all the traditions in the world, the spiritual values of the world, they would feel so rich in that inner strength, in the inner aspect as well. I totally agree that inner strength, a sense of dignity, a sense of
Thank you so much.
belongingness to the whole world will come from deep within. Yeah.
Shrishi, we would like to thank all the panelists. For many of them, it is only about daybreak right now, and for many of them, it's past midnight. So thank you, panelists, for your commitment to making the world a better place. We would now like to show you a recorded message from the revered Dhamma Master from Taiwan.
大家好，大家吉祥如意，和谐。我们知道这个一个教育，在这个社会是非常重要的。所谓的教育就是一个文化教育，信仰的文化。比如说基督教的文化，每个都有一个伦理道德，爱这个社会，爱这个人民，让这个社会呢和谐，没有暴力啊，就是尊重、包容、博爱，以这样的心呢来做一个好的起点。这个佛教的国家，它的教育从小孩到夫妻，到家庭，到社会，到国家，整个它这个教育让整个国家是和谐安定，没有暴力，没有杀生。这个教育呢，就是他们整个国家的这种道德伦理的一个保护。我们都是用自己的教去感动我们的国人，创造一个没有暴力、没有压力的一个社会。这是我们每个信仰、每个文化都要去努力的一个工作。尤其我们是一个灵性的一个领导，不要以消费主义为主，简单朴实的一个生命来对地球做环保，节约能源的方法来对这个做环保。地球虽然是2012年的一个灾难，似乎发生，似乎没有发生，但是我们知道我们是平安的，也非常的祝福我们的平安，也祝福了我们能够创造一个没有暴力、没有压力的社会，也就是要从灵性开始做起，要从尊重跟宽恕、谦卑来让我们这种整个灵性呢是和谐的。我们对物质的世界呢，我们必须节制，不要再破坏这个地球，因为我们的消费让地球不平安，人类压力大，暴力多，所以呢，唯有灵性提升灵性，才能够让整个社会呢跟地球呢平安。祝福大家共同创造无暴力、无压力的社会。阿弥陀佛。
We would like to thank the Dhamma Master for joining us in this mission to create a violence-free, stress-free world. And from Taiwan,
Dhamma Master has been with us from a long time, and he has created this World Museum of Religions. He is one of the pioneers who would bring in China and in Taiwan people from all religion together and bringing the message of spirituality. Spirituality is the essence of all religion, and it's wonderful to have him with us today.
From Taiwan now we travel to Bulgaria, where Deo, one of the most popular youth icons from Bulgaria, is performing. Deo, we are set for you.
Oh, come on. Hello, Shri.
Hello.
From all over the world. Greetings from Bulgaria. Чувствую аплодисменти всички, които ни чуват по света в момента. This song is for you.
Искам целия свят да чува целия град, да вижда целия свят, да помни нас и вас. Искам целия свят да чува целия град, да вижда целия свят, да помни вас и нас. Искам целия свят да чува целия град, да вижда целия свят, да помни нас и вас. Искам целия свят да чува целия град, да вижда целия свят, да помни вас и нас. Окей, добре, окей, добре. Окей, добре. Не ви чувам, тук ли сте? За Део и Лео дигнете двете ръце. My brother from another mother. От джобчето малкото музиците ги вада. На бате беше убита, бате само как те рита. От кризата те вади, без да те попита. Проблемът ти като самолет излита. И орбита започва да се скита. Само ми бегаш по тук с линията, усещам, ще станем на кълбета, ти го кам съвсем честно. Мирай тоя срам, не съм бил там. Бил си ти си тоя, дето се напили. Изгреби виде, а залезния дим. Искам да живея в България без дим. Стилът ми вече е червено вино пред камина. Периода на жестоките размазвания мина. На жълтата преса, брате, правим на пук. Гледам си кефа и оставам тук. Оставам тук, аз обичам лук. Вкусен на живота слух. Оставам тук, аз обичам лук. Вкусен на живота слух. Оставам тук. Искам целия свят да чува целия град, да вижда целия свят, да помни нас и вас. Искам целия свят да чува целия град, да вижда целия свят, да помни вас и нас. Искам целия свят да чува целия град, да вижда целия свят, да помни нас и вас. Искам целия свят да чува целия град, да вижда целия свят, да помни вас и нас.
Wow, that was super, Deo. I'm sure the whole world, as was the title of your song, the title of this song was The World, and surely the whole world was tapping its feet to its swinging beats. So with this, we stride ahead with our second panel. We welcome you back, Deo, for your question. We have a civil society group from Zimbabwe, Mr. Joe Leinen from Germany, Miss Annika Doppings from Sweden. We have a youth group from Oman joining us live, Miss Fiorella Miglior from Paraguay, Mr. Artur Duktiviz from Poland, and Miss Natalie Becker from South Africa. So Deo, we are going to start this panel with your question for Shri Shri. Please go ahead.
So thank you for the opportunity. It's a great honor for Bulgaria to be a part of this global event. And our question is maybe a little bit more specific. Shri Shri, imagine if I'm a 12-year-old kid and I'm at school and I'm fat, and my schoolmates make fun with me that I'm fat. Why they act like this, and how should I react to protect myself? Thank you.
Oh. I have a program for kids called the YES program. You know what I say that if someone criticizes you, take it as a fun. If people call you fat, laugh with that. Laugh with them. If they laugh, you also laugh with them. Some children have this ability to take on the criticism. When you can get yourself immune to criticism like that, nothing can go deep and hurt you and touch you. So we need to educate our children to make one new friend every day, and when someone insults you, take it with a smile. It's just an attitude. An insult can be countered with a sense of humor. If we don't have sense of humor, that is when we get hurt by it. So instill some sense of humor. In fact, fat, big-bellied children have a lot of humor, I tell you.
Thank you very much. So accept everything with sense of humor.
Pumping self-esteem in them, and also I would like to put them through exercises. Tell them eat less and do more exercise. Get on the shape. That's
this morning I have very powerful Kriya, so thank you very much.
Wonderful.
Thank you. This is from Bulgaria. Applause again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody from Bulgaria. From Bulgaria, we take the question from Zimbabwe, where a group is standing by. Please go ahead, ask your question.
Jai Gurudev Guruji, we thank you for this opportunity to engage with you in this forum. Our main question as Zimbabwe is, what can we do as Art of Living in Zimbabwe in a culturally polarized society to bring about true democracy and peace?
You know, I don't have one solution for it, but I have one advice for you. That is, keep asking this question, never give up this question. I know time and again you will get many ideas, and as a group, when you brainstorm, many ideas will come and discuss which would suit the best and which would take the country forward. Just go ahead with it. You know, there can't be one ready-made solution, but this question itself is very important. If citizens start asking, how can we, you know, bring down this polarization? How can we unite people? How can we make the country progress faster? These intriguing questions should be kept alive, and that is the first step of the solution, I would feel.
Thank you, Guruji.
Guruji, we now travel to Germany to invite Mr. Joe Leinen, Honorable Member of European Parliament, who is representing the German delegation. Mr. Leinen, please go ahead with your question.
Wie geht es dir?
Greetings from Germany, from a little town directly on the border to our neighbor in France. It is winter, very cold, a lot of snow, but lots of supporters of Art of Living here in the room. And they greet you. Now my question, there is a lot of stress, a lot of violence in many countries we heard about. And in Europe with the economic crisis, you can see it in a lot of countries that aggression, people are desperate, is growing, and the response of governments is very often hopeless and helpless. They don't know what to do, whereas you have successful programs. How can we bring awareness to your programs to parliaments, to national governments, but even to the international level, to the European Union, up to the United Nations? That would be my question. Do we have a plan?
We need to create peace ambassadors or peace healers in the society, counselors in every part of society, where when we see due to economic reason or social reason, if people's energy is going down, someone can come and enthuse them, a sense of more community living, you know. Bring that together in society. Festivities help people to reduce tension and depression. I know depression is a big issue in Europe, especially when the economic level is going down, but when people understand they're not alone and there is a whole group of people who are there with good heart and they're going to support them, they gain some strength. You know, that awareness we need to create. And of course, one has to learn how to go deep inside. When one goes deep inside, anxiety, frustration goes away, intuitive awareness or abilities dawn. And we become more intuitive, we know what's going to happen and how we can manage any crisis that would come in front of us. that confidence and strength comes up naturally. So that's why these spiritual practices would help, would go a long way to help our people. Plus social activities, more festivals, more sports. Of course, when there is sports event, then people forget about the crisis that they are into. You know, a little distraction from crisis can be brought out by music and sports. But more important, I would feel, is bringing that inner strength.
And see you soon again in Europe. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shri Shri. Thank you, Mr. Lai. Of course, Guruji, a little more than a year ago, Germany was the host for the celebration that you envisioned, the World Culture Festival, which brought the whole world together. From Germany, we moved to Sweden. Miss Annika Doppings, often referred to as the Oprah Winfrey of Sweden, is standing by live. Please go ahead.
Hello. It's wonderful to be here, and it's wonderful to meet you, Shri Shri, again.
Miss Doppings, could you be a little louder? Could you come closer to your audio?
Is this better? We have a here. I'm sorry, with this, is it better now?
No, yes. It's good now, yeah.
Even louder, of course, I will yell. In Sweden, does it work right now, or would you like me to?
It's good, go ahead.
No, it's fine, great. In Sweden, we have also discussed the importance of our inner peace, and that actually violence and stress in society only mirrors our inner status. But of course, it's very tempting to blame the others and point fingers and say that if we all were such impeccable scouts and looked at us as role models, it would be great. But we do understand that we need to take personal responsibility. And actually, many years ago, when I interviewed Deepak Chopra once, he said that addiction is the biggest enemy in our society, and that it would take many, many forms. But the good news was that behind the addiction was something good and very deeply human, namely the search for spiritual ecstasy. So if we were only to find other ways, healthy ways, to find spiritual ecstasy, that would help us and heal us. And actually, we do have an area here in Sweden that is very successful in that area, and we will soon share that with you. But first, Shri, please tell us, what do you think are the most powerful ways and healthy ways to reach spiritual ecstasy?
I would say two things. One is finding the love deep within you. This you can do through deep breathing exercises and meditation. And then expressing that love in action as service to people around you. That would give you immense satisfaction. Usually people seek for job satisfaction. I would say you can't get job satisfaction just doing some job to earn for yourself. But if you're doing a job that would help others, if you're doing a service that would brighten the faces and lives of people, that would give you immense satisfaction. So finding love inside within you, understanding you are a fountain of love, and then expressing it in life as service. These two are essential.
Beautiful. Thank you. We will then tell you that one of the Swedish favorite ways to reach spiritual ecstasy is our old tradition of choir singing. And almost 1 out of 10 Swedes is a member in a choir, and there has been profound research conducted in this area where they have proved that it is healing, it is soothing, it's relaxing, it's calming. And in a few moments, we plan to engage all of you in a huge global choir singing a famous ABBA song. You'll have to guess which one we will pick. And this way, by uniting our voices all over the world, we will take practical action to release tons of oxytocin, which is one of the reasons that this is so healing. It's the love hormone, or feeling good hormone, oxytocin. It's released immensely in choir singing. And we will create spiritual ecstasy and peace of mind across borders, building relationships and triggering our experience of being a small but very important part of the huge organism of mankind. So we will be back soon. Thanks for now from Sweden.
Thank you, Ms. Dopping. From Sweden, we now fly across the Atlantic to Paraguay and welcome Ms. Fiorella.
And comment before we go to Paraguay, I would say Anika Doping did a program called Aging Gracefully. I was also part of that. That is so essential, to educate or to make people aware who are old, who are in their 60s and 70s and further on, that they are really wanted by the society and society respects them. That respect for elders and giving them a sense of belonging, that they are wanted. They are no longer thought to be, like useless people, but they are really wanted and they are respected, gives them the dignity that is really due to them. That's beautiful. Yeah, let's go to Paraguay.
Thank you, Shishi.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Planet Earth. Hello, Guruji.
Hello.
Okay, our question today is, as in Paraguay we have so much corruption in all levels, in political level, commercial level, and social level, how can we function in this country and be effective without being involved in corruption? How can we fight corruption if it's affecting most part of the Paraguayan system?
Corruption begins where sense of belongingness ends. We need to create that sense of belongingness in people at the helm of the affairs, number one. Second is, a single individual cannot fight against corruption. It is difficult. They can, but it is next to impossible. So it's good to work in groups. If a big group of people gather together and say, we will not give bribe, nor we will allow anyone to take bribe, they can achieve something. A very significant improvement can happen in society. So it's good if you, motivate people, inspire people to stand up against corruption. And if there is a pressure group that says we will not bend or bow down to corruption, politicians will have to listen to them. Yeah?
Thank you. Say hi! This is Gaspi, you know him. He's shy today, I don't know why.
He's excellent, so good.
This is beautiful, really. Thank you so much to everybody.
Thank you. That was Fiorella Miglior, the beautiful and talented actress from Paraguay. And from Paraguay we come back to Europe to be joined by Mr. Artur Duktevis, the famous and accomplished actor from Poland. Artur, please go ahead with your contribution.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm ready.
Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, you can go ahead. You're all with me.
He's shy today, I don't know why. Artur, you can go ahead. Thank you. That was Fiorella Miglior, the beautiful and talented actress from Paraguay. Artur, you could go ahead. From Paraguay, we come back to the famous and accomplished actor from Poland. Okay, from Poland we go to South Africa. We come back to Poland later. We go to South Africa to welcome Miss Natalie Becker, actor and spiritual film anchor, who is standing by live. Miss Becker, please go ahead.
Hello, Natalie. Go ahead. Siyabonga.
Natalie, please unmute your audio.
Okay, start again. Go.
Namaste for Gurudev. Greetings from Cape Town, South Africa, and from everyone here at the Art of Living Foundation in Cape Town.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. A warm welcome to everyone watching as well. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Cape Town is a beautiful city, but it also wears the very tragic moniker and the very sad moniker of the rape and murder capital of the world. Everyone, or everyone we know at least, has been affected by the cycle of violence that is perpetrated mainly on the vulnerable members of society, women, children, and the elderly. I would like to ask what we can do as members of society in our own homes, in our own families, in our own schools, in our own private little capacity to help stop the cycle of violence, and also how we can reach out to the perpetrators of violence that are in prisons, that are incarcerated, and help them to heal, so that we can also heal our society at a deeper level.
You know, governments around the world spend billions in security, billions in arms and ammunitions. If they spend even a fraction of it, even 1% of what they spend on defense, to peace building, to proactively encouraging people to come together and find that inner peace, educate children to combat the aggression that they have in them, world will be a very different place. All that the government will have to do is just allocate 1-2% of their defense budget to peace building initiatives. Create volunteers, create youths who can help other youths around the country and to calm down, to respect non-violence, to proactively engage in social work. And in South Africa, you can all ask your county heads and the members of parliament to help you to create that sense of belongingness, peace between different communities. And there are 3 culprits for violence. I would say alcohol and drug. Third is stress. If we can manage to get these 3 culprits out from one's life, we can be very happy individuals and building happy society around us.
Thank you. We'd like to thank everybody for their participation. Let us now welcome Grammy Award winner singer Shaggy from Jamaica, representing the whole Caribbean islands. We bring you Shaggy performing live from Jamaica.
Hi Shaggy, how are you?
Shaggy, can you hear us? You need to unmute.
Yes, we're having a little bit of an internet problem back and forth.
So we can, please go ahead.
Now we can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Hi Guruji, how you doing? Nice to see you again. It's wonderful. It's wonderful what you guys are doing here. The last time we met at the Art of Living Ashram in North Carolina last year, we discussed the issue we were facing here in Jamaica. You advised that Art of Living should start their work with prisoners in the inner city children. Deshaun from Art of Living has started that program in the prison right here, and the results have been heartwarming so far. And my question to you is, teaching the Art of Living, is teaching the Art of Living enough? Or is there something more that we can do to help them not to be repeat offenders?
Art of living is it's not just some technique, it's a whole attitude towards life. That's what I would like to call as art of living. Appreciating life as a whole. In that, music is a very integral part, So through music you can unite people, make everyone start sing and dance in the same place, in the same stadium, everyone, that anyway you are doing in many places. So music, sports, and awareness about food and service activity, environmental care, caring for the planet Earth, all this put together, I would say, is art of living. Of course, the breathing techniques are a very integral part, which would help to find that inner peace, as you have seen that, no?
Yes, and that works really good, especially in Jamaica, which is a very
yeah.
I'm sorry about that. Which is this works very well in Jamaica because it's such a strong culture and very musical culture within itself. Obviously with reggae and everything. Or could you advise the people of Jamaica and the Caribbean to continue working towards, society, a less stressful society and a more peaceful society? And how can we make this dream a reality?
You need to teach someone how to ride a bicycle once. And that's it, they learn their whole life. Like you teach someone alphabets once. In the same way, we need to teach people how to manage their aggression, their jealousy, their anger, these negative emotions, which is natural anyway, it comes up. But when they come up, how one should handle that, that one need to know. And if we teach them this, like cell phones have reached every home, we also need to bring them this technique of how through their own breath they can transform their negative emotion into positive ones. It would help people a lot. It's doing anyway everywhere. Plus, along with this, of course, inspire them to do some social work together to the more needy and poor people because serving opens one's heart. It makes them realize that we have to come out of the little cocoons that we are in and see the world from a larger perspective.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shaggy, would you like to sing something?
Say again?
Would you like to sing something?
I will sing something for you. Don't make it so complicated. All we need is love. Hate is so overrated. All I want to do is love. Blessings.
Very good.
Thank you so much, Shaggy. You're indeed right. Love does move the world, as we are seeing it online today already. And we are happy to share with everybody that Shaggy, in collaboration with the Art of Living, will be taking his music to the prisons of Jamaica to sow the seeds of transformation through his music. So congratulations, Shaggy, and best wishes for this effort. We have a few more messages. We now have a message from Juliana Paes, the beautiful and dazzling Brazilian actress and performer. This is a recorded message. Can we have it?
Todo o planeta, e também nós, brasileiros, temos sofrido no nosso dia a dia com a corrupção que acontece em todos os setores da sociedade. Saúde, educação, saneamento básico, moradia, transporte, segurança, meio ambiente, enfim. Milhões e milhões são desviados de seu destino original, que é a população. E pouco se tem conseguido fazer para transformar essa situação. A corrupção separa, desvia, cria barreiras e, o pior de tudo, gera violência. Precisamos dissolver o quanto antes essas barreiras e ampliar ao máximo o nosso senso de pertencimento. A consciência de que todos somos responsáveis e de que há uma conexão entre tudo e entre todos. Somos responsáveis por tudo, por todos, por nossas ações e por nossas omissões. Precisamos todos nós unir forças e juntos colocar nossas intenções em ações coletivas e voluntárias para o resgate dos valores humanos e o despertar de uma nova e única consciência. Pois somente caminhando juntos e numa só intenção é que teremos o planeta que precisamos e viveremos a vida que tanto sonhamos e já podemos sim viver. Somos todos uma família mundial.
From Brazil?
That's wonderful. You know, music and meditation, they go together. You can't really separate them. Meditation, you experience the deep silence and that sound that is so harmonious in music that reinstates the meditative awareness in your active life. So music and meditation are very related, you know. Meditation will make life musical and music will bring that inner peace that and lead you to a deep sense of meditation.
Thank you, Shri. From Brazil, we now go to Canada for a recorded message from Sequoia True Blood, who is a member of the Choctaw Nation and medicine man from the mountains of British Columbia, Canada.
We have to prepare our young people in a way that they're humble. You know, you don't see much humility anymore in business and in government and in institutions of learning. We don't see that anymore. That's why these things are not working. Another thing that isn't working, I'd just like to add in right now, is that we men are not honoring and upholding the woman. See, that's another necessary part of it. These children we're talking about, where do they come from? They came from the womb of the woman. And all of these men that think they're in charge of things, they came from the womb of the woman too. And we men, I'm including myself in that, have forgotten somewhere along the way to seek the advice and the help of the woman. We haven't been doing that. And that woman came here with a moderating nature. The man came here with an aggressive nature. So it's up to that relationship for the men to let go, to allow that woman moderate the aggressive nature of the man. And then when that happens, the children are going to have a great example to live by and to work toward. So you know, the women are not being honored, the circle is not being honored, these things are not being honored within our institutions. That's why nothing's working. And if we take care of the children in the way that I mentioned, they'll travel around that sacred hoop of life and be example to all those yet to come.
The ancient people around the world have preserved their tradition, their culture, and we should encourage them to preserve that. It's a global treasure. You know, every culture has something unique, and it's essential to maintain and encourage them to maintain their original culture, right? The world will miss being colorful if that is not there.
We now go to Sweden, Shri, to welcome Blossom Tatum Lindquist, a very famous singer and dancer who is joining us live with a performance and as well a message.
Thank you. You're so welcome back to us, and we will sing in a second together, hopefully with all of you, not only in the hangout, but also on the YouTube live stream. But first, we would like to remind you what we have picked up from the Native Americans, the Iroquois nations, great and profoundly wise. They remind us never to forget the power of the good minds, in plural that is. So they would say, one arrow can easily be broken, but a full bundle of arrows, that's very strong. And we should always take personal responsibility for our clarity of thinking and remember the power of putting our minds together as one. So it's time for Power of the Good Minds, putting our minds together as one. Please get yourselves ready for the ABBA song, paraphrasing a very famous speech by Martin Luther King and honoring the opening speech of Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. I Have a Dream.
I have a dream, a song to sing, to help me cope with anything. If you see the wonder of a fairy tale, you can take the future, even if you fail. I believe in angels, something good in everything I see. I believe in angels, when I know the time is right for me. I cross the street. I have a dream. I have a dream. A fantasy to help me grow through reality. Thank you.
What creativity!
That was so nice. From Sweden, now we go to Pakistan. We will now take a recorded question from the International